there, folks. Welcome to the AtEdge interview series. Today we're going to be looking at an interview we did with Ransom and Mitchell. This is part 3 of 7. They're going to talk to us about how they find success as a commercial photographer and also success as fine artists. If you'd like to look at parts 1 and 2, those links are going to be down below in the description. Feel free to check them out. Can you explain how you approach and find success in both the fine art and commercial world? Are there similarities? Are they very different?
Could you?
Man, not right now.
Yeah.
They are very different. And, honestly, that's a question we've struggled with a lot on how to answer. Honestly, especially when students will come up and ask us that question, and it's hard to give an honest answer because both disciplines are very different and they require 100% commitment. So if you're going to split yourself between the two facets, then one gives and while one takes. So when we're having times where we're doing well commercially because we're just busy, we're booked on something, then our fine art completely suffers. We're not doing anything to serve that. Same thing, we might have a solo show coming up, and then it seems like all of a sudden, oh my gosh, we haven't sent out any promotional mailers. Oh my gosh, we haven't been making phone calls.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard to balance the two.
Yeah.
And I think too, our work is pretty dark, and a lot of it feels like their walls are put up sometimes by. I don't know if it's the client side or the art buyer. I don't know where a wall happens.
There becomes like a perception of, are these guys okay for me to show to my client? Because they might dig deeper into our website and find something that maybe, that make them uncomfortable because it's something that we've created. Not that it doesn't look good, but maybe the subject matter may set them off a little bit. And I think right now everybody's concerned about what the client feels like as opposed to what might be best for the client. And that creates a world where it's very safe. And we tend not to play too safe. So that can make it a little more of a cognitive dissonance.
But it is frustrating because we are actually really normal and very nice people and very, we feel like we're very easy to work with in terms of what's the creative brief? Let's all work together. Let's solve the problem. We don't have a lot of personal, egos and agendas. But I just feel like we sometimes worry that they're deciding we're Morticia and Gomez Adams, and we're gonna show up with like vampire teeth and be like, whoa, go with this only our way. You only do the dark thing the way we want it to be.
Yeah.
We're not like that.
Yeah.
But it's a perception that we battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think what's happening right now too is that both worlds are in great flux. Both the fine art world and the commercial photography world are really going through a lot of changes right now, and it's not like, the river diverted this way, so it's going to go that way. We just followed the stream down here. No, we're in a delta and everything's kind of going everywhere, and
it's true. Nobody
really knows what's the great path to the ocean.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, there are a bunch of little ways that are going to get there, and you kind of have to forge your own path a little bit, and pick up the tools that are available now and figure out how that works as best for you. For us, I think a lot of it in the gallery world in the fine art side has been to keep our relationships of who we've had with certain galleries, continue to develop certain bodies of work that speak to us, because that's always again what it goes back to. What's the work that speaks to you? And then produce that and find out how we can adapt it or work with it in order to find an audience for it that is willing to help support our fine art habit.
Right.
But and then on the commercial side, in much the same way of how do we then use our skills and to kind of develop a body of work that people can recognize and not just recognize, but really identify with their product. So that way they can say, oh, this would be great. We should do this with these guys. And they're a lot more specific, and there's a lot more guessing of like, well, how do I apply my skills and creativity to create something that is going to be something that they're going to want to work with.
Thank you for watching the AtEdge channel. I'm Elizabeth Owen, President of AtEdge. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. And you can check us out on social by following the links in the description. See you next time.